Now, nurses have a lot of opportunities outside the country. They have a lot of opportunities outside the country. And one organization that helps them to go outside the country is a consultancy called Kenya Nurse. Kenya Nurse. They can Google Kenya Nurse. And...
So amazing. We are just extending this conversation from 98.8 FM Chuka Universe Radio to YouTube and of course the Facebook at the same time. We are there listening to us, Jamani. We are live from 98.8 FM as James Oshila said, opportunities for nurses far away from that room. Madam Joyce Mghoi, Director Career Office, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
We are happy to have you.
Thank you.
This is the last day of the month of February.
It's a pleasure.
Okay.
Exactly.
Kuna
watu washerekei birthday Madam Joyce Mghoi. Walizaliwa 29.
They're very unlucky.
That is very true. We thank God that it is the end of the month for many reasons, of course. For many reasons. Hata kama 29th hatutaiona, lakini tutaendelea. So today we want to talk about opportunities for nurses. Besides or beyond bedside space. Because in most cases when the students or even the society general, when they think about nursing, the only thing they think about is that nurse being in the hospital and taking care of the patients there. And they sometimes they don't remember that there are a number of opportunities that nurses have beyond that. So that's what I'm here to talk about. And to start by saying that for someone to do nursing, minimum qualifications, because it is a course that is highly in demand, and therefore you need to perform as well as possible so that you can be able to get an opportunity. But minimum opportunity or minimum requirements for it is a mean grade of C+. Then you have to have a C+ in English or Kiswahili. You have to have a C+ in biology, a C+ in chemistry, a C+ in maths/physics. So these are the requirements that are required for you to be able to do nursing. And most of the time students ask me, which are these marketable courses in the country? And I want to say that nursing is one of the marketable courses in the country. The reason why is because I keep on saying, if you want to know a marketable course, look at a course where you can either do self-employment, you can employ yourself, or you can be employed by an individual, or you can be employed by an independent organization, or you can be employed by a government. And for nurses, all these opportunities are available. The students can employ themselves by, maybe opening a clinic or something, or joining someone who has a clinic, or being employed in private hospitals. There are quite many. Clinics are quite many, or being employed by the government. And other than that, also we have opportunities outside the country. So it is one of the marketable courses. If a student is able to do it, then they can be able to do. Another thing is that nurses, there are a number of specialization. Nurses, sometimes we think about it generally. A nurse is a nurse. Na tunamalizia hapo. Ni kama tu kusema mwalimu ni mwalimu. Ndio mwalimu ni mwalimu, but every teacher has a subject that they teach. So nurses, they are generally nurses, but you can specialize. You can be a nurse and then you specialize in a certain area. We have people like nurse midwife. They have specialized in midwifery. We have anesthetic nurse. The nurse anesthetist, that someone who is able to help people when they are being operated and being able to give them an injection to be able to sleep or to numb their body for an operation. We have also educator nurse that are able to train others. Like even when we talk about nursing training institutions, there are people that are training them. And those people that are training them are nurses also. So we can have nurse educator. We can have nurse manager or who is overseeing other nurses. So they could be there in the hospital, but them, they are not doing bedside attending or they are not nursing the patients, but they are overseeing the whole operation of that particular area. We also have nurse in informatics or informatics specialists. These ones, they are involved in analyzing of information that has been given by technology. Sometimes you need some checkup, and it has to be done using a technology, and therefore they have some nurses that are there basically to see whether this technology has actually given the results that are expected, or the procedure that has been used to treat a certain patient, whether it is the right procedure. Then we have nurse oncology or oncologists. Those ones are specialized to take care of people that have cancer, or they are undergoing cancer treatment. We have emergency room nurses. Emergency room nurses. When there is an emergency, when there is an accident, when there is something that has happened there, they are those nurses that are the first people to receive this patient. They are there at the emergency room. So we have also emergency room nurses. We have surgical nurse. We have surgical nurse, or nurses that are there in surgical rooms. And then we also have other kinds of nurses that really help in one way or another in different areas in that particular hospital or in that particular organization. Now, nurses, what do they need? What are the skills that they need? Actually, one of the things that the nurses need is good communication skills. That when they communicate information, it should be clear. You can imagine if you miscommunicate about treatment of somebody. Exactly. What's going to happen? It can even be deadly. It can even be deadly. So good communication skills, critical thinking skills, they need that to think critically, and even how they are administering the medicines and so on. Collaboration skills, they need to collaborate with each other. They need to be able to coordinate with each other, how they share information. Diligence, nurses need to be very, very diligent, because their job is a matter of life and death. Any small mistake can actually lead to death. So there are skills there that they really need as nurses. There are skills that they really need as nurses. And so I just want to educate people about that. Now, there are many opportunities for nurses beyond bedside space. That is what we are talking about. That if you are doing nursing, or if you intend to do nursing, if you desire to do nursing, what is it that you can do other than being at the bedside? Now, I want to remember sometimes back, I invited career coach, and she came and she trained our students. And in the course of training them, she said that she is actually a trained nurse, but she is no longer a nurse. She's no longer a nurse. She is doing career coaching. So you can already see, it's not a must that if you do nursing, you must be in the hospital there besides a sick person and so on. You can even become a career coach, like this lady that became a career coach. So those are some of the opportunities. Advocacy, finding solutions to problems. Sometimes we have sicknesses, diseases, we have problems that are leading to diseases and sicknesses, and we need nurses to come out, become advocates, and find solutions to some of these problems. So you can become an advocacy person, or advocating for something. You can become a career coach. You can become an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur means, as a nurse, you become innovative. You become innovative. Like you remember during the COVID time, there are nurses that worked together with, what do we call them? Do we community call them welders? These welders, these people that can make Juakali sector. And they made a ventilator. They made a ventilator. Kenyan made ventilator, other than waiting for them to import for us, we had our own. So you can become an entrepreneur even as a nurse. You can become a researcher. You can become a researcher. There are many things that you can research on and give findings that can help the community. You can become an educator, just the way I've said. There are educator nurses. You can become an educator. You become a trainer, maybe in a nursing institution or in a university and so on. You can also be a consultant. And as we talk about consultancy, maybe later on I can talk about a certain consultancy that is helping students or helping nurses go outside the country and work there. You can become a flight nurse. you know, in the aeroplane, a flight nurse. You can become an NGO nurse, you know. You can become a cruise ship nurse. Actually, I was watching some documentary and I saw these big cruise ships. They have mortuaries inside there, just in case someone dies. Someone dies as they are enjoying themselves. So you can become a cruise ship nurse. You can become a camp nurse. Where people go for camping. You can become a camp nurse. You can become a procurement nurse. You can become a school nurse, nutritional nurse, you know, public health. You can become a forensic nurse.
Even a studio
nurse. A forensic nurse, yes.
A studio nurse.
Even a studio nurse.
We also
you can become also a risk management nurse. So those are some of the opportunities that are there for nurses beyond bedside space.
This is something, madam. We've seen great and good nurses fall because simply they cannot interact with people well, or even if they interact, they are very qualified. Lakini mtu akitoka kwa hospitali anasema sitawahi rudi kule. Yule mtu yule sitawahi rudi.
Sitawahi rudi pale. Yule nurse ameni mishandle.
Some people feel like, or they describe them as heartless creatures. I don't feel like they are the one.
Can we talk about that after the break?
That is Madam Joyce Mghoi yako ndani.
We talk about that. Yes.
Alafu pia mimi ataniambia, unajua sometimes unaenda kwa hospitali unapata kwamba hakuna mtu ambaye anazungumza lugha yako ya mama. Na maybe wewe ni mzee. What can you do?
As a doctor or as a nurse, you are trained a doctor.
Should we have nurses who are trained in mother tongue?
You are trained in English, Swahili or what, but communication skill. I think madam was just to put them so much clear. So kienda kule, stop ongelesha wa mama kizungu mingi. Just ongelesha wa something they can understand. Opportunities beyond that bedside msikilizaji. We are coming up with more.
Ndani tena zaidi Madam Joyce Mghoi, career director Chuka University, anakuwa device mambo matamu. Leo tunazungumza kuhusu opportunities ya nurses besides ile kukaa pale kwa mgonjwa pale hospitalini. Na akasema kwamba kuna nafasi za manas, lakini kuna manas ambao huwa wanapoteza hizo nafasi. Akasema hivi, hata na uliuliza ndugu yangu. Hebu muulize tena hilo swali lako.
Amazing, that is it. And just talking about the qualified nurses, but you cannot really deal with people mishandling
people. Okay, now we need to know that people, or generally we advise students to pick courses according to their passion, according to their likes, according to their personalities, you know, according to their personalities, because there are people who may not be able to, there is a job you can't do as a person, not because ni mbaya, but because your personality cannot allow you, or because your likes, your interests cannot allow you. Let's talk about personality. We have people that are extroverts, we have people that are introverts. Now, if you are an extrovert and you pick a job like, you know, you are working with machines and not with people, you may find yourself feeling depressed because you are working with things, you're not working with human beings. And you are an extrovert, you need to talk, you need to communicate. If you're not an extrovert, you pick a job that will help you communicate with people or will help you be able to talk to people, help people and so on, because you like talking. You like talking a lot. So our personalities are the ones that are supposed to guide us to be able to do certain courses. However, there are many students that pick courses not because of personality, either because they have been advised by people or they are looking at the money or they are looking at the opportunities that are there. So they end up doing a course that they really don't like. So there could be nurses in hospitals and different clinics that really people feel this nurse is mishandling the patients, or this nurse is rude, or this nurse is this and that. You go to that hospital, you leave feeling worse because of the words that have been used on you and because of the way you are being treated, and you feel like you're not being treated well. Some of these nurses, number one, some of these nurses, maybe nursing was not their passion. Maybe it was not their passion. They just did it because it is a course they qualified and therefore they decided to do it. Number two, they could be going through their own emotional stress because they are human beings. They could also be having their own frustrations. So they may be treating you and you're feeling they are not treating you well, but in the real sense, they could be going through a lot themselves, mental health issues and so on. on, because they are also human beings. Number 3, nurses know. When they see you, and even if you are crying there and saying, I'm dying, they know. They actually know whether you're actually about to die or not. So sometimes they may ignore you because you are making noise, you are crying, you are screaming and so on, and they just ignore you because they can see whatever you're screaming about is not as serious as you are making it. It's not about negligence. It's about them being able to know. When they look at you, they can know. They can know this person. Actually, the pain they are complaining about is real. Or there are people.
Kuna watu kama mimi atusemaji tukiumia tunanyamaza.
Mnanyamaza. So they can still see. They can also they can also see and know that you are actually hurting, and they can be able to help you. But sometimes we also have human beings. As human beings, we complain a lot and we feel like we are being mishandled. While us, in the real sense, maybe us ourselves also, we have not handled ourselves well. So generally, nurses do a good job, and generally nurses, they do very risky jobs and very tiring jobs. Exactly. So let us also have compassion on the nurses. They are doing a good job. Let us give them room. They can be able to help us, and we will generally be okay. So we really need to know that nurses can also go through challenges. They can also go through issues. They are also trained and so on. What my advice is, kindly pick a cause that you can be able to do because of your interests, your passion, your personality. You can be able to do it. I normally advise students. Some of the students, when they tell you they want to be nurses or they want to be doctors, when you ask them, have you ever slaughtered a chicken, they may not. Or have you ever probably there are some that even seeing the blood of a chicken, they cannot be able to, they don't want to see. They don't want to see a chicken being slaughtered. They don't want to see blood of a chicken, and therefore, and they still want to be nurses. How will you be a nurse if you don't want to see blood? How will you be a nurse if you don't want to see anybody vomiting? How will you be a nurse if you don't want to see anybody having pus? How will you be a nurse if you don't want to see anybody who has messed themselves up? They have, because patients mess themselves up and they need someone to help them. Patients, they mess themselves on bed, they mess themselves, they poo-poo on themselves, they urinate on themselves, they vomit on themselves. So if you are a nurse and you have that which we call nausea, a feeling of nausea, that you are also vomiting, when the patient vomits, you're also vomiting. You cannot be a nurse that way. So they have to have some kind of personalities that they can be able to handle. They can be able to handle patients. And on what you said, James, about doctors that probably are taken somewhere and then there you meet some old wazes, or even maybe not old, but they cannot communicate in any other language. Okay, number one, what assists the nurses and the doctors are tests. Sometimes you are sent to go and take blood tests. Sometimes you are sent to go and take urine tests. Sometimes they check you, using their own gadget. They check your chest, they check. So all those things will help them to be able to conclude, or to be able to have a good conclusion on what is going on with you, or what you are suffering from. Other than that, they can also have interpreters. They can also have nurse interpreters that can be able to explain to them what the problem is, even if there is a language barrier. Yes.
That's so amazing, msikilizaji, bila shaka.
So wale ambao hawawezi kuona damu ya mbuzi, ya kondoo, wachana na nasi, wachane na udaktari, because there you will not only see the blood of chicken, you will also see
watu. Na wako disadvantage kwa sababu hata CBC hataweza.
That is very true.
Kuna slaughtering.
Kwa kulima.
Yes. But so that is it. Yes.
We just need to understand this thing, msikilizaji, and make it more clear as far as nursing is concerned. Madam Joyce, there's something you noted on opportunities.
Yes.
And kuna watu, najua everybody, kuna karika pride. I just want to get out of Kenya.
Out of Kenya.
Where else?
Okay.
Some of these countries.
Okay. Now, nurses have a lot of opportunities outside the country. They have a lot of opportunities outside the country. And one organization that helps them to go outside the country is a consultant called Kenya Nurse. Kenya Nurse. They can Google Kenya Nurse. And this Kenya Nurse is a consultancy firm, and it has been assisting assisting nurses to go outside the country. I'm not marketing for them, but I'm giving information to the students that are listening to me. There are a number of countries that need nurses or have been taking nurses even from Kenya. One of them is America. America is a country where they have been taking nurses. There is a shortage of nurses there, and it is quite easy to adapt in America. A number of Kenyans are in America. They are having their own small vijijis there, you know. You know Kenyans. So the only thing you need is you need to pass a proficiency exam, for you to be able to work there. And the proficiency exam entails speaking, listening, writing. If you are able to do that, if you're able to pass that exam, then you qualify. You know, there was that story that there were nurses that were given exams and only how many passed, you know, very few that they could not be able to speak English. But generally, you need to do a kind of an exam, for you to be able to go there. America is there. Canada is also there. It's also easier to interact. The Kenyans are there. We have many Kenyans there. Again, you still need to do an exam. Where it entails listening, writing, speaking, so that they can be able to know whether you can communicate. Australia is also there. Australia is also has good opportunities for nursing, and a number of nurses that have gone to Australia also make it big, because other than their normal schedule and normal salaried jobs, there are also part-time jobs. Here in Kenya, we call them locums. There are part-time jobs there, so they can also make it big there. New Zealand is another country that also needs nurses, but these ones, they need nurses that are experienced. They need nurses that are experienced, and therefore mostly they take nurses that have come from UK. You go get experience in UK, then you go to New Zealand. UK also.
You can get the experience from Kenya.
UK also is a country that people can go, and therefore there are many countries that people can be able to go. Nurses have been going. And once you pass that exam, the exam, they call it IELTS. IELTS. AILETS. And once you pass, and it actually involves speaking, as I've said, listening, speaking, and writing skills. Once you pass that exam, then you can be able to relocate and go and work outside the country.
Madam Joyce Mghoi, najua kuna mtu ambaye yuko pale nje, maybe ni nurse, lakini anashindwa, je, kama wanaofa kazi, wanaweza offer scholarship, maybe wende ukasome huko majuu kidogo.
As a nurse, you go there as a nurse. Of course, scholarships are there. They don't lack, James. There are a number of scholarships here and there, but getting them sometimes can be a challenge, because sometimes you don't get to know these opportunities are there. So you must really have people that probably can identify these opportunities and tell you, hey, there is an opportunity here. Otherwise, we may not know. So yes, there are scholarships here and there. If they want, they can check them out. They can Google, check where they can be able to get those scholarships, apply. It's not easy to get the scholarships, but they are there. But they are there.
But just Mghoi, we have our candidates, and of course we cannot call them candidates. Now we have the freshmen. They are ready to join university. And I've received some questions from them as far as nursing and being a doctor is concerned. Someone asked me, I want to be a doctor. Being a doctor, is a doctor the same as a nurse? And mimi ni daktari, mimi ni nesi. And just clarify that.
It's not the same. A nurse is not the same as a doctor. For you to become a doctor, you do medicine. You do medicine and surgery. That's what you do as a if you want to become a doctor. And the qualifications are higher. The qualifications are higher. You must get B and above. The qualifications for becoming a doctor are higher. You see, the qualifications that I've said, you need a mean grade of C+, and then C+. For you to become a doctor, you need a B. In all those areas, you need a B. And then you train to, you do medicine. Then from there, you can become a doctor. A doctor is higher than a nurse in terms of qualifications. But the nurses also have come up in the sense that nowadays we have diploma nurses, we have degree nurses, you know, we have master's nurses, we have PhD nurses. So generally, in the final end, they will still almost be the same area with the doctors, so long as they progress in their qualifications, they are still
hopefully wamepata. In fact, si hawa tu wamekuwa kisumbuka. Hata watu kule nje, there are people who are not aware.
They are not aware. There are people that are not aware, and that's why I decided I give them that information so that they can be able to know, their opportunities for nurses there. And if I was asked some of the causes that are marketable, nursing is still marketable because you can be employed within the country. You can also get an opportunity to go outside the country. You can work with individuals. You can work, you yourself, if you have enough money, you can set up your own clinic and so on, and you can be able to move on with life.
How is offering these courses? Medicine and nursing. Chuka University, is it one?
Chuka University, we have nursing. We don't have medicine, but we have nursing. We have nursing. We have public health, we have nutrition and dietetics, and we also have health records. We also have health records. All those are courses that are related to nursing. By the way, other than medicine and nursing, there are very many other courses that are related to medicine. Very many courses that optometry, imaging, all those. There are those, including engineering, medical engineering. There are so many courses that are related to medical. It's not only being a doctor and being a nurse. We have other people, pharmacy. We have other people that are required in the hospital.
Hata sisi wanahabari tunataka madaktari. So you have an opportunity.
Yes, because you have said you can have nurses everywhere, anywhere.
Madam Joyce Mghoi, we have some nurses back in the village who are trained.
Yes.
Unaweza waambiaje?
Those that are trained and they are in the village and they don't have a job, please let them wake up and look for those jobs. A job cannot come for you in the house. You have to go out. You have to search. You have to talk to people. You have actually to leave that comfort room and go out there and search for these particular jobs. If they don't search, they will not get. So they need to go out there, search for these jobs, visit places, and it will be well.
Thank you, Madam Joyce. Asante sana. Huyu amekuwa ni Madam Joyce Mghoi from the career office, and we are so much grateful. Asante sana, Madam Joyce.
Yes. And I wanted to say something. Sure. We have a career day for Form 4s on 11th of March. It is organized by Tharaka Students Association, Comrade Students Association. Tharaka. Generally, Tharaka students that are in the university and they come from Tharaka Nithi County. So Tharaka Nithi County Students Association. They have organized a career day on 11th of March, and therefore I'm calling all the Form 4s, all those that have completed Form 4 to come on that particular day. KUSIPs will be on board and very many other dignitaries, even some PSs. Let them come.
And I think
we talk about careers.
You've talked about KUSIPs, and perhaps they will like to know more about these KUSIPs. Maybe before that day, something small about KUSIPs. Someone who has not applied. I don't think whether the portal.
They have not yet opened. The portal is not yet open. So once the portal is open, we can be able to talk about it and we can be able to direct them how to choose their courses through KUSIP's portal.
Unalia kule ationi ili apply siku itu.
No, we'll talk about it and they can also go to my YouTube channel, Touch of Grace KE, because we have those processes there in the YouTube channel. There are about 4 or 5 videos on KUSIP's process. So again, they can go there and they can get information. Yes.
And we are hoping for the best, msikilizaji, and all that. Imekuwa ni Madam Joyce Mghoi. Your last word, Madam Joyce, as far as that is concerned.
I just want to wish everyone a good day.